It's a beautiful season indeed. Merry Christmas to you all and a beautiful New Year in advance. It's a beautiful season. Thank you for giving me the privilege to come your part on Inspirational Talk. Today, I want to present you with a subject that is very important. I stress this to let you know how important it is on creating your atmosphere. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Creating your atmosphere. What am I saying? I'm saying that there is an atmosphere that you need to create. You need to create that atmosphere. If not, you will live under an atmosphere that will not permit your survival. Everything survives via an atmosphere. One of the reasons why God regulates times and seasons by which the earth survive is because God knows that everything survives by atmosphere. That is why there is a time to plant and there is a time to harvest. During the time to plant, there is an atmosphere that is created for the seed to find expression on the ground. And there is another atmosphere that guarantees harvest. And during that harvest time, you see people harvesting. So if God knows that the earth that He has created survive by atmosphere, then it's worth thinking about. How do you survive? How do you grow whatever you plant? How will your vision be nurtured? It can only be by the atmosphere. Now let me quickly say this. When God was to take the children of Israel into the promised land from Egypt, He created for them an atmosphere. Why did He do that? He knew that they left with the clothes that was on them, the shoe that they were putting on. The atmosphere He created for them is able to survive their clothes not to go old and not to be torn. Of course, how many clothes? Which cloth can survive 40 years? Their shoe not to be torn or get old. So God needed to create for them an atmosphere. What did the Bible say? By night, by the pillar of fire, by day, by the cloud of His glory, so that they can be able to survive under that atmosphere. There are atmospheres that are contaminated by which things doesn't grow. There are histories all over that can tell about that. Where one of the First World War happened, we were told, where some of the blast of the bomb that took place for many decades, nothing could germinate in that soil. Because why? It was contaminated. Now God haven't displayed this wisdom in creation. It is important we learn from it. Now, it will baffle you that a whole lot of time there are things that you try to do which momentum you are unable to sustain. The reason why such momentums were not sustained is simply because the atmosphere that is around you is not conducive enough to sustain such momentum. There are people who start something. It's easy for them to start. It's easy for them to keep going because of this atmosphere. And for some, the reason why they stop, yes, of course, it is because of the atmosphere. But whose atmosphere? The atmosphere that was created for them by their environment, by the people around them. Now hear me. People constitute atmosphere. And if you don't know how to create your atmosphere, the atmosphere that you live around, if the people are not on the same path of vision and purpose like you, it will kill your dream. So what am I trying to say? You are right to say that the people around you are not helping you to do well. But another truth is that you are living under the atmosphere of people. And listen, it is this same atmosphere that have made some people not to live long. This same atmosphere have killed a lot of persons. This same atmosphere have caused people to even commit suicide. This same atmosphere has caused people to be sad. This same atmosphere has made people not to grow in their business, not to live a happy life, a joyful life. Why? Because they are living under an atmosphere that is either created by people around them, their environment, their government. They become sad and nothing seems to be working. But today, what I'm trying to say is that you create an atmosphere for yourself, especially if the atmosphere around you is not supporting your dream. Create one for yourself. How do you do that? You create the atmosphere. That is why I want to say at this junction that you can create an atmosphere in an atmosphere. Now, if your atmosphere, like those in the farming system, there is what is called a mechanized farming. In an atmosphere that is not conducive ordinarily for such farming to be done. Of course, I'm sure you know this by now, that apple does not grow in every environment. But there is a mechanized farming that can be done in an atmosphere where apple does not grow, just to support apple to grow in such an environment. So people bring forth produce based on the atmosphere through the mechanized farming, by which it gives such atmosphere, it gives such a product the boost to produce, just like I say concerning apple. Now, if your atmosphere is not conducive for you and is not supporting you, create one for yourself. How do you do that? Make yourself happy. Create an atmosphere that energizes your learning. There are people around you that may not help you to concentrate in your studies. So what do? Take out time. Become disciplined enough to constitute an atmosphere by which you enjoy yourself. There's an atmosphere you stay under, you'll be happy. You will see yourself becoming fruitful. Create for yourself to live a healthy life. There's an atmosphere that contaminates everything around you. Have you lived in an atmosphere that is contaminated by flame, this gas flame? What you see when rain falls is that you see all the waters become black. Why is it so? Because that atmosphere is contaminated and people in those areas, they live that way. What I'm trying to say is that it affects everyone around. So what do? People find a way to live in order to curtail their atmosphere. I want to speak to you today on letting you know that you can create a joyful, peaceful, wonderful atmosphere that guarantees you to triumph in all that you do. Your atmosphere is needed for every seed you plant to grow. Your atmosphere is required for the germination of that seed. Atmosphere is required for the harvesting of it. Everything you want to achieve in life, you can achieve, is based on the atmosphere that you create. Create one for yourself. Determine to be happy and be free from high blood pressure. Determine to be happy and be free from sadness. Determine to be happy and make a difference. I love you. It's a beautiful season around you. Don't let anything stop you. Keep the atmosphere going. See you. Bye-bye for now.